Have you ever wondered what the fly times would be like if it was a polar instead of a pusher style? Well, in the spirit of Halloween, wonder no more. I present to you the Frankentimes 85. Fly Lens and Flytimes 85 is really good at getting rid of the jello, by this gummy mount here that stays at the front. It also leaves the camera extremely exposed. And as a freestyle noob myself, it was probably not the right drone for me to get. If anyone was like me and you went through all the reviews and whatnot, like the Fly Lens and Flytimes 85, scored really high. But there's a caveat, right? Like it was always advertised as a Cinewhoop. For some reason, I thought that I would be able to freestyle with it. I broke already 2 DJI O4 Air Lite. Yeah, I think I've had enough. So I created this monster. Essentially, flipped it over, updated the stack a bit, where I actually add some more spacers so that it could be more in line with my other builds. Also, I got the CNC aluminum kit for the O4 Air unit from Flywoo. You can see here, like, makes it a lot more sturdy, and that's kind of what I'm basing this off of. Protect mainly the camera, because we all know how weak that MIPI cable is. I moved over the Meteor 6575 Pro canopy, and I'm gonna mount that on top of this stack. I mean, other things of note, I clipped the TPU that was holding everything together. That string wasn't gonna do anything anyways, and the result of a crash. I also, now that I'm not as shy at soldering, I wanted to give the beeper a go. JHE20B Finder. And yeah, it's like a nice cheap little beeper. Pretty small, I guess. And then I just zip tied it to, since I'm no longer using the camera bracket. I guess the other thing to note is that this isn't even the O4 Lite version, it's actually the O4 Pro. It's really a Frankenstein mess. One of the negatives I see is that I'm gonna have to land on the battery, so I'll probably have to come up with something about the strap here just to make it a little bit more durable. One thing of note is also to make sure that you flip your props over as well, since we're gonna be doing a polar style. I think the only thing left to do is for us to take this in the field and test it. If you want, you can skip ahead to that. I'll leave time marks below. I'll also go over the configuration steps that I took in Betaflight. Don't recommend you doing this, by the way, because the Flytimes Fly Lens already is fit for purpose. This is just me being bored. All right, so I just want to show you the settings. So I'm gonna connect here. The most important thing to start with is to make sure you back everything up. So, hit save backup here. Save your settings before you go ahead and make any changes. You're gonna notice that yours is probably gonna be upside down. And not only that, like, the direction of rolling and pitching is going to be backwards. And that's actually an easy fix. If you go to configuration here, what was 0 before, I changed to 180 for the roll. Same with the pitch. And then this here was before clockwise 180, and now I just changed it to clockwise 180 flip. Of course, most importantly, we also need to change the name because it is no longer the Flytimes. So the Frankentimes 85 it is. Make sure you save and reboot after you've done that. Next step is to make sure your motors are working and in the right order. So I can't remember if I changed this from default, but I think default already it's propellers out. So what we're gonna need to do is just, go through the motor setup, hit reorder motors, plug in a battery, make sure you got a fan going, and then check to make sure everything's in the right place. And then after that, check your motor directions and see if everything is also spinning in the right direction. The next thing I did was I went to pit tuning and I resetted all my sliders back to default. This is going to be fun because this is going to be my first time actually taking a really dirty build and seeing if I can clean it up. Hoping that sliding everything to default will prevent flyaways. And then same with the filters tab. I just set everything back to, default filtering here. Yeah, I think dynamic notch I had at 1 before, and I just bumped that up to 2 because I'm pretty sure I have like frame resonance going on everywhere. But we're gonna fix that out with some black box tuning, maybe in a future episode. All right, and I think that's all the changes I made. So with that, let's take this to the field and see if we can get this thing to fly.
Okay, so out on the field, it's a beautiful day. As you can see, there's a yacht just coming by here. I'll show you. Anyways, I will be taking off the Frankentimes 85. I only charged 2 batteries with me. This is just a test flight to see if it even takes off today. I got my 650 milliamp 2S Geonang battery. Plug that in here. So I'm actually going to enable acro mode, or I guess disable air mode, because I found if I don't have the tuning right after taking off the frame, then it tends to lead to a flyaway situation, because like the P turn builds up, and then as soon as you give it a little throttle, it just rockets up into the air. I don't know if that's happened to you, but I figured that's what was happening to me. Okay, I got an image, that's good. VTX is working. Let's arm. Yep, it's armed. Let's see if it can actually take off though. The moment of truth. Do the propellers, are they on the right way? Oh shoot. It is so... They are, but my dog was coming after it, so I cut the throttle. Okay, try that again here. Leave it. No.
No, no. Come here. Hey, hey.
It sounds...
No, no.
It's flying,
No,
but it sounds wrong.
no, no. No, no.
I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of oscillations as well. But hey, it's flying. Whew.
No.
Yeah, it seems... Oh, it could be the tuning as well, right? It's oscillations, because maybe the default tune is too little, too much. So, actually, I'm gonna come land here and do a flight with just throttle, so I can get some black box data. Can you, I guess, take them away for a bit, because I need to land. All right, so we are going to enable the black box, and we're gonna do some throttling and whatnot and collect some data here for when I get back home. So enabled, I have that enabled on a switch. Do some throttle up, and then let's do a little bit of a rocking back and forth here. Pitch and yaw. All right, let's come back in for a landing. No, yeah, it sounds like I hear like oscillations already. So, pretty sure something's off. Came in hot there for that landing. Okay, let's turn off. Now we're just gonna fly a little bit normal here, and it's also pretty windy here. Let's see if I can show you here. There's a Canada flag up ahead. You can see tons of wind today. There's also another dude flying a DJI, which is kind of cool. He's probably wondering what I'm doing, and still, if took off, it's off the ground, eh? So we're getting somewhere. Low battery. Yo, that. So I installed the beeper on there, but it's kind of annoying. As I was hitting the low battery times, like it still beeps. Unless that's, no, that's not coming from my. There's some jello as well, as expected, because I'm using the Meteor Pro canopy, and yeah. All right, we're gonna take this fly to around 350 here, and then we'll take it back. and maybe try out a different battery. So it's coming for a landing. The other battery I didn't really get to charge up to full. We were kind of in a rush to leave. So I have the Flywoo Explorer 1000 amp, but only charged up to 4.20 volts. Yeah, I'll probably be pretty conservative, but I wanted to see how this would handle with that extra weight. So let's see how this goes, eh? Maybe it'll do better in the wind. Maybe it'll reduce jello. No, don't think that's the reason, the cause for the jello, but yeah, okay. There's a lot of wind today. I want to fly around that flag, but I can't. Oh yeah. Maybe I'm just not used to the sound. Like, this could be normal. Nah, it just sounds like it's whining. I don't remember it doing that before. You know what? We collected black box data, so we'll be able to tell from there. Let's try to stay away from the people, eh? Alright. Orbits. Oh, that low battery beep is so annoying. I'm gonna have to disable it when I get back. I mean, I already see it in the goggles. There's no point for it to beep. I won't be able to even hear it if I wasn't in such close proximity. I'm pretty happy though that at least the configuration is right. If there's any issues, I'll see it in the black box, but like, you know, it'll probably be because of how I mounted things or whatnot. Maybe something's loose. Yeah, but it flies, and I haven't had a flyaway yet. Okay, cool. Well, that's a wrap, folks. I'll go back and take a look at everything at home. So thanks for joining me.